Hello and welcome back to this Retfurb video. On today's video we've got this Sega Dreamcast and we're going to be fitting a GD-EMU modification to it. So this modification was recently purchased from AliExpress purely because I wanted to see how good the kit was, how easy it was to fit, how good the instructions are. So hopefully it will help someone else that has bought this kit or looking to buy a kit. It will help them to fit it. Obviously if there's any issues along the way. So let's get to it. So this is the first time I've opened up the box to have a look to see what's inside. As you can see, you've got the circuit board, you've got various plastic parts, and also a ribbon I think is in the little box. The manual, lots of different screws, so hopefully everything's here and it makes it a nice easy modification to do. So I'm just going to go for all the bits. So that's the part which is a remote mount for the SD card, various brackets, a small button. Obviously the circuit board inside this packet with some standoff mounts, which I don't think you actually need for this modification with the full kit. I think looking back when I did the kit without all the full modification for the remote SD card locator, you needed those standoffs, but with this I don't think you need it. Inside the box is a small ribbon connector which is just for the remote location, so that will plug into the circuit board and then the other part will go into the remote holder which sort of sits inside the Dreamcast when you open up the tray. So first thing we need to do is now get inside the Dreamcast. So just need to remove the modem off the side, and then there's 4 Phillips screws underneath that need to be removed, and then it can be turned over, and then the top of the lid can be lifted off, and then we can see inside. So now that's the lid removed. Now we can look at removing the old CD-ROM drive. Just 3 Phillips head screws on this. This then just lifts out the Dreamcast. So now I'm going to look at fitting the remote cable connection. So I was looking at this, a bit odd because the way that they've got the holders and the 2 small screws which are on the ribbon connector, it looked like it's screwed in differently. But actually looking at the manual you can see that it slots in and then the screws go on top and hold it in. So those holes don't actually do anything on the ribbon connector, they just slot in and you screw on top of them. Now this is when it started getting a little bit confusing because the picture showed this different. So I'm just sort of messing around with it, trying to work out how I can sort of make it look how it's fitting in the picture. Obviously trying to work out just how this bracket fitted onto that main part of the plastic. And looking at it like that, you can sort of see that, yeah, that looks like it fits okay. But when you try to fit it as it shows in the manual, it is not right. It needs to be on top rather than underneath, if that makes sense in how I'm showing it now. worried about how to orientate this ribbon. The first time I put it in, it wasn't connecting properly, it wasn't loading up, so I redid it and it seemed okay. I think it's just trial and error on that. You just need to make sure that the connections are okay. It's a little bit loose when you push it into the circuit board for the ribbon connector, so that's just something to be mindful when you're doing it if it doesn't load up properly. Now you do when you fit the GD-EMU, just push it down where the circuit board connects for the old CD-ROM drive. So this just pushes down on top of that, and then there's 2 screws to hold it down. And then we can put the lid back onto the Dreamcast, turn it over, and then fit the 4 screws back onto the case. Now after it's all fitted up, I'll do a quick demo just to show you what you'll see when you load up the Dreamcast once you've installed the GD-EMU and some games. Obviously that's a separate process. I'm not going to go through all that on this video. I will put the link on there how to get the GD-EMU, and then it shows you how you've got to install the games and everything within the folders on that. So now let's do a quick demo. Let's quickly load up the Dreamcast and then just go through what you'll see on there. Once you've got the GD-EMU installed onto the GD-EMU, you'll load into that first, but it will look like a normal Dreamcast loading sequence until you get to that, apart from this loading screen. Once you've loaded into the GD-EMU, you'll then get a list of all your games that you've installed. This will then also show, as you go through them, on most of them, you'll see the artwork for each disc, just so it makes it easier to see what you're looking at. But unfortunately, this isn't the case for all games. I'm just going to do a quick loading of a game, just to demo it working all okay. So just from that quick demo, you can see that it all works okay, all loads in fine. Now, I've gone through all the games that I've currently installed on there, and all of them work absolutely fine. There's no issues. They all play just as they would normally. So like I said previously, I'm not going to go into how you install the GD-EMU or the games. That's easily findable if you do a search online. I will put a link in for the GD-EMU. So when you download that, there's a README file, and it shows you just how to set out the games into the file folder on your SD card. I hope it helps someone in how to fit this, and if they're looking at the AliExpress version, just how easy it is to actually do it. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. It's really appreciated as always. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.